following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Monday! Looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. We got a little activity going on out there. It's 70 degrees. It feels like 70 degrees. The high today is 75. The low tonight is 59. And it's going to come a storm tonight if you're in North Texas. Watch out. Hail, high winds, possible tornadoes. And we got a storm brewing in this studio, and I'm glad that Jesse Holley is not here because Kurt Daniels is rocking a Kansas ball cap today in his all blue.
Represent.
And speaking of Jesse Holley, he is joining us live from New Orleans, Louisiana, after maybe one of the best games in college basketball history, where his Tar Heels squeaked out the win over the Duke Blue Devils, and they're playing for the national championship tonight against Kansas. Jesse Holley, how are you, sir?
I'm well. Nate, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Shannon, how are you? And Kurt, go to hell today.
How was it, man? Was it awesome?
It was electric. As someone who's played in the rivalry in the regular season in the ACC, for this to be the first time it's ever been in the NCAA tournament, I'm so thankful and glad that we won, and I've done my fair share of gloating and talking trash to people. But I love the way that the game went, right? It wasn't a blowout on either side. Like people got their money worth. Like whether it's home or in the stadium, it was one of those games that's an instant classic that will play forever and a day when it comes down to this rivalry. And boy, what a great way to send that arrogant bleep, 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 bleep Coach K packing.
Tell you a quick story. So William was at the game, Brother Will, that runs the live streams.
I'm sorry, Bro Will.
Don't feel sorry.
He said it was well worth it. So he went, and his ticket was way up at the top of the Superdome. So he had access to this club where it was, I guess, the champagne room or something. That's the only, I guess, booze they had in the whole place because it was college sanctioned or whatever. So he goes down to this club, and he meets this nice lady and her friends, and they were Villanova fans. And he starts talking to them, and she's like, well, we're leaving. And she was like, you want our tickets? Like, there's 6 of us. We're all leaving. Our team lost. We don't want to stick around for the second game. You can have the seats if you want them. So there's 6 seats. So William's like, where are they? They were about 12 rows up in the corner of the court. And
in the family section.
In the family section. Apparently her grandfather was like one of the badass coaches from Villanova.
Massimino,
yeah.
Something like that.
So he finds 5 random Duke fans that
they're random?
Yeah, he just recruits them. He gets them. They go down, and he watches the game. He said Jesse Holley was on the Jumbotron almost every break they had. He was like kissing babies and shaking hands and dancing, and he was the mayor of the Superdome. So he said Jesse was all over the place.
So what I felt bad for, I get this text, and it's a picture of, like, someone took a picture of me from across the stadium. It was like, in the circle did right. So I'm just like, oh, now there's 75,000 people there. Like, it's packed. Like, I don't know how much the Superdome holds, but it's packed. And so I get this number, and I'm just like, hey, yeah, go Heels, and like just talking. I was like, well, I don't want to be rude, but I don't know who this is. And he's like, it's me, Bro Will. I'm like, I'm sorry I don't have your number stored on my phone, bro.
William said he had better seats than you.
He probably did. He probably did.
Wow. Oh, man.
No, I had really good. So here's my seat to my left, George Lynch. So George Lynch and I are talking all night long. Directly in front of me is Jerry Stackhouse. 4 seats to my right, Tyler Hansborough, It's Antoine Jamison. And then, this is all the Carolina family. You got, all the players. We're like all in the section. Shamlon Williams, and you got Donald Williams. You got, Puff Johnson. I mean, not Puff Johnson. What is his brother's name? I don't know. But you got all the guys, 2 rows ahead of me to my right. Coach Williams is sitting up there. Chase Rice, who's one of the greatest country music singers going right now, who was a former linebacker at Carolina, my teammate. He's sitting in the next row across from me. So it was a star-studded event, man, and we had a good time.
Man, that's awesome. So a who's who cast of folks were at the game.
What's the city like? Bourbon Street and all that. You getting out?
It's insane, Kurt. Like when I tell you it's insane, and I realize that I know you guys are older than me, but I'm old. And I'm like, these kids can go. I mean, these kids, they drink all day, every day. I'm like, it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like dragging myself to walk up and down this street, and they're like, let's go. And they're like double fisted. I mean, they're hanging off the balcony. It's like, I'm like, I know when I was 18, I didn't even drink when I was 18, 19, 20 years old, but I'm just like, where do these kids get the energy? And they've been doing it night in and night out. It's been great. The atmosphere has been fantastic. It felt like college town again. Like those times when you were in college and everyone's hanging out and drinking and at the bars and all that kind of stuff and bar hopping. It felt like that. But my knees and my back and my ankles are killing me from doing all this walking. And so I'm like, these young folks can have it. They got it.
Did you get your hand grenade?
I did. I did.
Good for you, Jesse. Good for you.
I did. I had a celebratory, I would say half of one. I had a celebratory half of one with a bunch of groups that I said I would do it with. So I did a half a celebratory hand grenade. I don't even know if it's like, it tastes fruity. So I don't even know if it was like, that's what it's supposed to taste like, or I don't know. But yeah.
Oh, good for you. What's the plan tonight? What you doing tonight? You going down early? What are you doing?
I don't know. I have as we all work, we all either played or work in the media, right? Do you guys have a love-hate relationship with these night games? Like as a player, I used to love them because I'm like, it's a night game, it's a primetime game, everybody's watching. But I hate it because you got to wait all day. I'm like, dang, like what am I going to do for the next game's not until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm like, what am I going to do for the next whatever? The casino already did what it did to me, and it wasn't time. So I'm not going back to the casino. I can't hang out with these young kids and this day drinking. So I just had breakfast not too long ago. I'm just going to sit around and be an old man and watch the clock.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. How long you on with us? You on the whole show segment, or you bailing? What are you doing?
We're gonna do a segment. We're gonna do a segment.
Okay.
Maybe or two.
Well, what do you want since you get a segment or two? Nate, what were your thoughts on the game? Did you watch?
Sorry, sad to say I didn't.
Oh man.
That's why I'm sitting here listening, man, because I like when other people.
What were you doing, Nate? What were you doing?
I told Kurt, man, I'm in the house just moving around. Me and the wife, we just moving around. I'm going in and out. I'm just moving around, and then all of a sudden, I sat down at 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and my phone finally just dings. And they told me the winners, and I said to myself, I was like, isn't this tomorrow? And I said to myself, well, at least the 2 people I know teams won, so I'm happy for y'all. That's why I'm sitting here just listening, man. Good for you, Kurt. Good for you, Jesse. Now, I just want to, Kurt just sitting here like, y'all can ignore me, but I'm going to go upset Jesse. That's what the look he got on his face. You going
to watch tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to try to watch tonight, man. That's a shame. I miss, and it's bad that I'm not into college basketball. A guy that used to be nuts 5 years ago about college basketball, now I miss.
Don't even know what night it's on.
Yes, sir. That's sad.
So before we move on from basketball, Kurt, what is your prediction tonight? Should we even ask?
Oh, Kansas is going to win. I'll give it they'll win by like 6.
6? What do you think, Jess?
I will say this. I'm going to give Kurt some credit. Kansas is playing some damn good basketball. Yeah. And my only fear, only fear is that we didn't shoot our load Saturday night. And I mean in the basketball game. I don't mean the other way. I just pray that we didn't, get build up for this Duke-Carolina rivalry and it's all that kind of stuff. And then we forget that, oh, by the way, we still have a national championship game to play because Kansas is coming to play, and they got some darn good players. So, of course, I got Carolina winning by 5.
Oh, all right. Did you hear about Kurt? Did you hear about you don't like country music, but Eric Church, one of the biggest guys in country music right now, actually canceled his concert so he could go to the game. He's getting all kinds of flack for that.
What, San Antonio or something?
Yeah, San Antonio is he's a big UNC fan, and he just said
not only did he cancel it, but he canceled 2 sold-out shows.
Yeah.
Oh man,
but it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, he's going to see his team win a national championship. So they'll be okay. They'll come back.
Yep.
Cancel culture is not real, so they can't cancel him. That's not even a real thing. Like people.
He's not going to go back to San Antonio anytime soon, but he'll come back.
Yeah, he'll come back, and they'll show up. They'll show. You know what it's like? It's like when people say, "Oh, the Cowboys, what a horrible job they're doing. I hate this team," and and then they'll go, "I'll see you guys next season," and the Cowboys will lead the league again in attendance after all the people said how much they hated what happened in the offseason, how they weren't showing up anymore, how they weren't giving Jerry any more of their money. Then they'll show up and there'll be 90,000 every single week. So it's the same thing. Eric Church will be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. All right, speaking of football, Jesse, since you're only on with us for a limited time, what would you like to talk about today about this Cowboys football team? Or it doesn't even have to be Cowboys. It could be anything you want.
I want to talk about Micah Parsons, who is also a Duke fan. Mm-hmm. And that just tells me the mentality of this kid I thought was a winning mentality that he had. That's clearly now flawed. And so now I question the one thing that I was kind of almost sure about Micah Parsons and his ability to have a winning mindset. It's flawed now. And now I don't even trust him anymore. So, I mean, the one thing that we did have that we can trust on this team, I can no longer trust anymore because he showed me his true colors and what his mindset was at.
That's tough. That's tough.
Oh, man.
Well, Kurt, what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
You want to talk about, Jesse's buddy, Michael Irvin, had some strong words. Was it last week? Thursday or Friday?
Over the weekend.
It was over the weekend?
Yeah, he said that he was inducted into the, what was it, the
Are you in a bus station, Jesse?
Texas Black.
I'm in the lobby of the apartment. I don't get service upstairs.
Okay. Go ahead, Kurt. Sorry.
Well, Michael was inducted to it was the Texas or Dallas Black Hall of Fame. I can't remember.
Texas Black Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Anyway, they asked him about the Cowboys, and he said they are not a better team talent-wise. This game doesn't require skill; it requires will. If a team loses skill but gains greater will, they can still do great things. And I found that interesting in that, one, is it true? Can a team with more will than skill actually win it? And two, are the Cowboys getting more will even though they've lost some skill?
Honestly, that only works in, like, Pee Wee football. No, seriously, like, there is
good one.
There's only a certain amount of time where your will overtake talent. If you don't have a talented team in a league of nothing but talent, you can only will yourself so far, right? Because talent, and that's going to rise to the top. The superior teams will rise to the top. The better players will rise to the top. And you can will your way through a game or two, maybe even 3. But when it comes down to it, you look at St. Peter's, right? I don't want to bring back to college basketball. But you have a Cinderella story every single year. And it's these teams who aren't they aren't superior in what they do, but they find this way to will themselves to victory. They start hitting shots, and they make a little bit of a run. But then eventually you come and you face a team that it's like our recruits are better than yours, our facilities are better than yours. We fly private planes, like the big sneaker companies pay us to wear their gear, like all this type of stuff. It begins to show, right? It's like our athletes are McDonald's All-Americans. Yours just go to McDonald's. Like that type of stuff, and it's the same thing. You can will your way to a certain amount, but in the league of the best, you got to have players, man. You got to have guys at the end of the day that's going to be able to go and make plays, and coaches to be able to put them in the perfect position to make the plays. And I think when you look at what we did this offseason, we lost a lot of those guys who were playmakers, and we're trying to make some other guys playmakers, but we aren't quite sure if they're going to be that or can be that on a consistent basis. So the will and skill, you got to have a lot of skill if you want to will your way into a championship.
What you think, Nate?
The bottom line is this right here, Jess, and you put it in a very nice way. What happens when your will and those people with skill have that same amount of will? What happens to your skill?
San Francisco game?
Yes. What happens when you line up and say, we got the will? But guess what? When those guys with the better skill have that same amount of will, guess what happens? You lose. It's still going to come down to you finding the right guy, the Micah Parsons of the world, even though he's a dookie. You got to find a bunch of those guys. You got to find a bunch. If you don't have a bunch of those guys, you got to have 4 on defense and you got to have 4 on offense.
4, really?
Yeah, you got to have 4. You got to have them. You got to have 4 of these guys at least.
I've always wondered what I get will, but I think the thing I've always wondered about this, and Jesse, you and Nate tell me because Kurt's probably in the same boat as I am. He's never played professional sports.
Yeah, but it don't matter. But y'all,
Yeah,
but y'all got it in life.
Right, but when you
Y'all
get
got
to
it in life.
but when you get to this level and you're a pro athlete, I would think everyone's got the willpower to play at a high level, and when you get to this level, you don't want to get beat. You don't think so?
No,
There's guys that don't. Really?
And as much as we love this guy, that's why Amari Cooper is not sitting here. That as much as we love Amari Cooper.
The will, huh?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Wow.
That's why he left Oakland. Am I wrong, Jesse? Am I on the wrong?
No.
That's why Amari's not here. I'm serious, man.
Is will the same thing as drive?
You got to have will to have the drive. It ain't going to have the drive to have the will. No, will is greater.
Okay.
So would you rather have Amari's talent and sacrifice what will he gave, or are you glad he's gone now?
You just see guys like that, if you hit the right time, you're going to make a lot of money. But then all of a sudden the money catches up because people are going to question your will.
The thing with guys like Amari, you hope to have enough will guys around him.
Yes.
Right? You want the skill, because ultimately that's the biggest thing, is to have the skill.
Yes, sir.
But if you can put enough will guys around him, you can kind of almost mask it. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's some things that you can kind of try to, work with that. But that skill, man, at the end of the day is the most important. To have that skill set is the most important thing. And then, because you're going to have teams that don't have players on teams that don't have the will. But that's another thing. You talk about roster building. Roster building is personality, it's skill set, it's position. And there's a lot that goes on to building a right roster, mentality from your coaches and all that kind of good stuff, man. And so, every roster is going to have its mixture of guys. But if you have the right amount of skill and the right amount of will, but skill, most importantly, you got to have that. Like that puts you in contention, and then you work through all the rest of it, as you build your roster.
Guys that just, for whatever reason you call it selfishness, whatever reason Ken Norton, Charles Haley, Tony Tolbert, James Washington, you call it whatever you want, because everybody, James Washington's selfish. But James Washington wanted to start. He wanted to make all the plays. I mean, he wasn't the most skilled guy, but he had that will. I mean, and then you have Darren Woodson, smart, got all the tools, reset the market and how you play this game. We always had 4 on offense, 4 on defense.
So who would you?
And they weren't always stars. But they had that ability, and they had that will and that drive to do it. And then guys like myself, you build and you learn and you get going, and now you don't want to lose it. You would do anything in the world, lose weight to keep it going.
Who on the Cowboys now do you think who would be that for on defense, offense now?
Jesse?
I would say J-Ron Curse is a guy who has a bunch of will.
Parsons, J-Ron,
Parsons, yeah.
D-Law.
Parsons is a guy who's is a mixture of great will and great skill.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, to get to the National Football League, your skill level has to be far above the average American male, right? But like Parsons is one of those guys who is just exceptional. It's like God put a little bit more of that dude in his mixture when he was making Micah Parsons. So Micah is a mixture of a guy who has the will and then has the ultimate skill set to match it. And these are the kind of guys, the Michael Levers of the world, where when they speak, you listen. When they go, you follow, because you're like, not only does this dude have the will, but he also has the skill that he can put it on, on the field. So, but guys like I said, like J-Ron Curse is a guy who I wouldn't say is necessarily the most skillful dude, but he brings a level of will. Like, and will to me, it's a mixture of, are you willing to do all the things you have to do, the study, the preparation, the taking care of your body? Like, that's the will part of it. That's the part of knowing. I was roommates. I should say this. He was roommates with me, but Des Bryant was a roommate of mine. And this was a guy who I've seen wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning and eat nothing but a handful of gummy bears and go out there and dominate practice, right? Like, that ain't will. That's a whole lot of skill. For me, I got to get up early. I got to stretch. I got a hot tub, cold tub. I got to do all the other stuff to get myself prepared and ready to go. I had to make sure I knew he was just so talented that he can go out there and practice for 2 hours on a stomach full of gummy worms.
That DK Metcalf diet.
You know what I'm saying?
Big E,
it's
Troy Aikman, Micah Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Larry Allen, Mark Stepnoski. I mean, the list goes on and on of guys that had the skill and the will to do this type thing. And when you can't build rosters like that. Now, yes, it costs too much money to build rosters like that, but all of these guys I mentioned, I think, were drafted by the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Coach Wooten, and I think it was another coach from Oklahoma State. I can't think of his name. They could look at a guy, watch a guy on film, go talk to a guy, and they knew this a dog. This dude gonna do whatever it take. Look at their background, look at their family history, whatever it take. And when some people make, he's a little out of control, they know how to control that and touch the right buttons and get that thing flowing in the right direction. That is what we're missing.
Does Dak have it?
Dak has it, but Dak, how do I put this where? Dak needs a mentor. I think Dak needs a mentor. I really do, because you have not, to me, you have not grown, and maybe because of the injury, he has not grown from that rookie Dak of being on point, on time, doing everything it takes to win. So now he's that Dak that just stand back there waiting for a wide receiver to come open. And that ain't Dak. That ain't why you brought him. Well, maybe that's what you thought he was going to be in the future. That's what you saw for him. But that ain't the same Dak, fellas. He need a mentor. He needs somebody that say, hey, man, this is what you're good at. This is what you do. Dak has been a football player. He's been a quarterback that's a football player. So, that's what I believe.
All right, let's take our first break. Jesse, you going to hang out?
Yeah, I'll hang out.
All right, we'll be back with Jesse Holley calling in live from New Orleans. Bobby Wagner got signed last week. How do the Rams keep finding money to pay these guys and other teams can't? And then Jalen Ramsey had some I guess, scathing comments about the Dallas Cowboys?
No, it wasn't scathing at all. He was just
saying they lied to him.
Yeah.
They lied to me.
And we had a celebrity. We had a celebrity here on campus on Friday afternoon. We'll tell you all that and more, and I might even tell you about Wrestlemania.
There you go.
When we come back. All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll talk about Wrestlemania. Yeah.
On our next segment, Hanging with the Boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
On Saturday, April the 16th, see unbeaten WBC and IBF welterweight world champion Errol the True Spence Jr. and WBA welterweight world champion, I don't even know how to say this guy's name, Dennis Ugas, square off in a welterweight championship unification showdown at AT&T Stadium. Little typo there. You do not want to miss this premier boxing champions event. For tickets, visit SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing provider of AT&T Stadium. And Kurt Daniels, won't you pull that?
You going to that?
Nah, probably not. Jesse will probably be there. Jesse's a big boxing guy. Nate, you're a boxing guy, aren't you?
Not
no,
anymore.
not anymore.
I'll be there. I got my tickets already.
Nice. We need to get Errol on the show. He's a big Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
He's here in the local area. Kurt.
Yeah.
Amazing. Star Magazine draft edition came out last week.
Well, it's coming out. I think we're going to have it available today. This afternoon we'll have the digital available today. We'll have store locations. We should have a link up soon for the print version online. Yep, this is it.
Give Nate a copy of that.
Thank you.
Our man Kyle Yeomans did an amazing work.
Shadow know me now.
He did amazing work on scouting reports. We got 110 scouting reports, pretty in depth, and then like 500 players listed in here. And Will McClay gave us an exclusive interview. Great story on how he got to the Cowboys. Really interesting.
Oh, really?
So yeah. It's
I want to read
cool.
that.
So go to DallasCowboys.com/star. And we will have the links, the info, where you can get it, all that kind of stuff. Should be up either later today, definitely tomorrow, if not. But yeah.
Did you interview Will for that?
No, our Jeff Sullivan, who actually works for Panini.
Oh, Sully.
Yeah, he freelance writer here, and he got an opportunity to talk with him. And it's interesting background from Will. He kind of came from nowhere, the arena leagues, to now being one of the best Italian evaluators in the league.
So who are we drafting, Kurt, since you put the magazine together?
Oh, that I can't tell you. But it sounds like, just reading David Hellman and some of the others, it sounds like we'll have our choice of either wide receiver or interior
lineman.
So it'll be interesting. Do they take the flash of the receiver and try to help Dak, or do they beef up the front? And
what would you do, Nate, first round? I know two through six. We know where you're going.
Go through the best player available.
Like they did with Micah.
Jesse, you with that? That first pick? Unless that center and maybe I need to read up because one thing I haven't done, I'm leaving it all in Will McClay hands. For the last 4 or 5 years, I've been going to Mobile. I've been reading. I've been messing with Hellman. I've been messing with everybody, Broadus. You know what? I'm going to leave it in Will McClay hands. Man, after the first round, 2 through 5, I'm knocking off another round. I don't want no 6th-round pick or no 7th-round pick unless you're a young.
So you stepped it up 2 through 5 now.
I need it.
Not 2 through 6.
Because I want all of the. We got like 25th-round picks. Get them all as linemen.
All right. What about you, Jess? Where would you go first round?
Gotta go. I gotta go O-line. Gotta go O-line first round. I think this team, if you don't shore up that offensive line, you're setting yourself up for major failure.
There you go,
and we
Jess.
talked about it.
Yes.
We talked about it. No, we talked about it earlier. You talked about with Dak and having the will versus skill. If he's not protected, man, mentally and physically, he goes into a shell, and we don't need that. And if you don't protect him up front, that's where it all starts. Offensive, defensive line, control that line of scrimmage, and everything else follows. So I'm going to get me some old linemen to shore this thing up. But it's in Cowboys fashion. A wide receiver will probably fall, and we'll grab a wide receiver, and
Yep.
Yeah, they're saying there'll be a couple available there. So
Kurt's got a great question for Nate, for you and Jesse. Would you use a first-round pick on a good tackle, but knowing he might have to sit for a year?
No, sir. If this dude got to sit, why would he come in here? Oh my God, man!
He won't sit. He won't sit long, Nate. He won't sit long. He won't sit long because we already know that Tyron's going to miss 3 games.
That would be considered a wasted draft to sit more than him getting off the plane. The last time a tackle should sit in the first round is he getting off the plane. That's the last
sitting at his press conference.
Thank you. That's it, bro. After that, thank you, Shannon. After the press conference, he should be standing up starting. Thank you. Don't do that. I don't care about the first round. I don't care about the first round. I really don't.
You don't?
I don't.
What do you mean?
As many
not care about the
great
first round?
offensive linemen come out of the first round. I understand that. But my success has come more with 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th-round picks. If you got the right offensive line coach and you have Will McClay, tell him what you want, they will find it. We talked to Jesus the other day. What's my man's name?
Jesus.
Chris Hall.
Chris Hall. I mean, not Jesus. Jesus. Not the Savior, but I'm just saying, that's what I call him, every now and then. I'm like, hey, Jesus. Oh, yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
You got Jesus working for us?
Yeah,
have
we
a
do.
good draft.
We do got Jesus working for you. You went to our little show. You went to our show we had, the 60. Yeah.
I talked to Jesus a couple times. Had some Miller Lights involved.
Yeah, man. But I'm Jess, I don't care about a first-round line. If you want a wide receiver, get him. But if he's not starting, whoever you get in the first round, if they're not on that field starting, when we start 2-a-days and all that right there, that was a wasted pick. Unless it's injury, and then it's still a wasted pick because we've had a history of that. Yeah. It's a wasted pick.
Dallas Day was Friday, and then 30 visits are this week. And if you watch 30 visits over the years, that usually tells you pretty good deal. Now, they didn't bring CD in for 30 visit because they didn't think they had a shot at him. They just thought he was going to be completely gone. But other than CD, if you look back, probably, we'd have to go back and look, but they're pretty they usually bring in a guy that they get in the first round on 30 visits if you pay attention to who they bring in and listen to, all the people. How important is that process to the scouts and the coaches and stuff to bring those guys in and talk to them for 30 visits?
You know what? It's everything in the world.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why? Why is it so important? Because
you can sit down. If you really like a guy, you sit down and you try to build a relationship right there, if you can. I don't believe in the stupid, ignorant questions just to see, let me see where his head at, and then ask him something stupid. But if I like Shannon, hey man, how's your family? Give me a little background on your past. What have you been through? what trials have you had? What great things that make you laugh and what make you smile? I want to get to know this person and hoping he would open up and be truthful with me as best he can because they realize that they're being interviewed too.
Yeah. You get them on the field too. You work with them. And
So I want to see because that is where that second and third and fourth round, especially that fourth and that fifth round, linemen see that be lurking, man, because I'm telling you, I ain't talking about no first round. Y'all can have it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna even be watching the draft on the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Stop lying. Yes, you will.
Yeah, he will. He'll be glued to the TV.
Jesse.
Stop lying.
Okay,
You'll be texting.
Okay.
You'll be texting to the group chat. I can't believe they took him in the first round.
Wow, that's what we'll get.
The only way I will be disappointed in not watching the first day of the draft, the first round, if they go out and get that kid from Georgia, that big defensive lineman from Georgia, I hate that I missed that right there.
Yeah.
That's the only guy that they will excite me.
There ain't no way that dude's falling, is it?
I wouldn't think so. Would you rather have him than Davis from Georgia, or would you rather have an offensive lineman?
That big dude from Georgia. Because we ain't – how do we every year get knocked out of the playoffs in the first round? We consistently get – Thank you. Thank you. We consistently get ran over in the first game every year. If we can't see that as Cowboy fans and as Cowboy personnel, okay, y'all, if we lose in the first round, what will be the main reason we lose in the first round? Oh, somebody run for 180 yards.
Jordan Davis.
What's his measurables?
Big.
That's a man, boy.
330 pounds, and he 6'6", 341. He ran a 4.78.
I'm gonna tell you something.
That's a load of beef. That's a truckload of beef.
I'm gonna tell you something. When a guy like that go to the restroom and do a number 2.
Oh my God!
When a guy like that,
how we evaluate.
When a guy like that go to the restroom and do a number 2, and he get up off the toilet and the whole foundation say, "Oh, thank you."
What?
That's your Hanging with the Boys scouting report on Jordan.
Hey, look, he on TV. That ain't him, is it? That ain't. Oh, that's him. That's him. He on TV. Jess, we got him. We moving up. We moving up, baby.
Chris got the footage. That's a big boy. Jesse, how important are 30 visits in your eyes?
They're huge. Like Big Davis. He's huge. They're big because not only do you get a chance to look at these guys, when you're at the combine, you're limited with the time that you get a chance to spend with these guys, right? You only get a chance to spend some amount of time with them. You put them through your workouts, so. A lot of time when you go to these pro days or even the combine, again, your time is limited. When you go to the pro days, especially these top guys, they put on the workouts that they want you to see to accent their gifts. When you bring them in your building, you give them a chance to look at your doctors, your trainers, your coaches.
We got the best.
In your system, right? So you get a chance to really evaluate them from head to toe, inside and out, whether it's physicals, whether it's x-rays, whether it's the mentals, the physicals, all of it, and then you put them on the field, and then you get a chance to sit down and meet with each and every one of them. So that time, it's the combine is more like speed dating. When you get a chance to bring them in for your 30 visit, it's more like a formal sit-down, candlelit dinner. You're right. You get a chance to tell me what your interests are, who you be with, things that make you smile, what numbers are. That's a Biggie lyric, but don't worry about that. But that's the kind of thing that you get a chance to do on your 30 visit. So it's important because this is the moment where you get a chance to really ask your questions, evaluate them with your guys in your facilities, and truly try to get a gauge on, is this guy truly a good fit for who we are and what we do as a football organization.
Yeah. What is the last time, Jesse, or you guys, I probably need to be asking Hellman or one of these guys, when is the last time a draft has been dominated by down linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers? It's been a long time, where they just been consumed with quarterbacks.
Yeah, I was going to say, this seems like the first time in a while that the quarterbacks haven't really
I mean, wide receivers the last few years has been a bit about wide receivers and quarterbacks. When has it been, Jess? It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, but again, the league is, it's always going to highlight the offensive guys. It's always sexy to have a receiver or a quarterback. Those are the guys who go on the billboards and sell all the jerseys and all that kind of stuff. So, and then you try to kind of piece your defensive line and stuff like that together later on in the draft. I think it was like 2017. Was that? What was 2016 and 2017 when you had guys like Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah.
That was, well, in those later rounds, you had guys like Chris Jones, right? Chris Jones was a second-round pick. There are other players like that they got in later rounds that have made a tremendous impact. But, very too often you just don't, you don't highlight a lot of the big boys or the defensive guys, one or two here and there. But you got to start putting some defensive guys on the field because your quarterbacks are getting more athletic, your running backs are getting faster, your receivers, godly. You saw the combine this year. Everybody's running the 4.3, and so if you don't start putting guys out there defensively that can match that, you'll be in this foot race that you'll never be able to win.
Jesse, before we let you go and go to our final break, any parting shots you want to take at Kurt?
Come on now.
Kurt's my guy. I love Kurt, and but Kurt, y'all gotta take this L tonight, baby. It's okay. No. I'll bring you a Carolina T-shirt to wear next week. On the show.
I'll bring you a KU one. We'll see what that happens.
Oh, do y'all want to make a friendly wager here on the show?
Wow, let's do it, man.
You doubt?
Listen, I'm more than confident in my Tar Heels. Okay,
sure.
Whatever.
Send off for your KU shirt now.
So
whatever.
Loser has to wear the opposing
down with that.
The opposing guy's shirt that they bring to a
shirt following week
on the show. Shirt and hat or just shirt? Because Jesse's a hat guy.
Kurt, I'm not a hat guy. I've never been a hat guy. You always tell me somebody's a hat guy.
So,
and I'm bringing my jersey that Kurt has to wear.
Yes, yes, all day long.
Kurt, you will be wearing a Jesse Holley North Carolina basketball jersey all next week, all day long.
I would wear that. I would wear that on a Friday
all
up here.
Day.
I like that.
All day long. Kurt.
All right, so Kurt.
Is it autographed? I only wear it if it's autographed.
No, you'll wear it because if you lose the bet, you will wear it, and we will make you wear it.
I'll wear it on the show for sure.
Wear it on the show.
No,
all right.
You're wearing it all day in the office, all day.
Yeah, like you're gonna wear a KU T-shirt at school.
I will wear a KU shirt all day long, and I'll do random FaceTimes.
Okay, I like it. I like it. You heard it. There's the bet. I like it. There we go. Friendly little wager brought to you by DraftKings. So, all right, Jesse, thanks for joining us, man. Go enjoy New Orleans. Hope you don't chew your fingernails off waiting on the game to start tonight. Send us a picture of your seats. And we'll talk about it next Monday whenever.
I thought she was about to say send you a picture, but go ahead.
Well, hey, that too if you want to. I know you're in New Orleans, so I'm sure there's plenty of that going around too. So, Jesse, thanks for joining us. We'll take our last break and we'll come back and talk about some fun stuff on Hanging with the Boys. See you, Jesse. Good luck tonight.
Bye, bro.
All right, fellas. Thank you.
See you.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo quiero guacamole.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back, Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. The proud sponsor of Hanging with the Boys for going on 3 years now, 3 or 4 years.
At
our
least,
good friends over there at
yeah.
Wingstop, putting up with our nonsense. We love those guys and girls. Hopefully we can get some food in here soon. Now that we are allowed to have guests back in the building, that would be. I need to work on that.
Very nice.
Need to work on that. All right. Before we get to WrestleMania, Jalen Ramsey said the Cowboys told him they would draft him in 2016, but they took Zeke. You want to know a little fun fact there, Kurt? I was on the red carpet for that event. That was the first and only time we've ever sent social media to a draft, and it was because we had the fourth pick. And they sent me and Roxanne. We flew up, believe we flew up commercial, and we got to go to the draft, and I interviewed Jalen Ramsey on the red carpet.
Did you?
Yep. Interviewed Zeke on the red carpet in his crop top. Had no idea what I was doing. It was before I hosted any show 6 years ago. Had no clue what I was doing. We just had a mic. Rox had to video it, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll ask the questions.
Like some crazy behind-the-scenes stuff, like you had to go here and there, and you weren't sure where you're going to be, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, because the stage where they drafted him, it was in Chicago. It was the first time they ever had it outside of where they normally have it. Mm-hmm. And the stage was way away from like the green room where everybody stayed. So they had to golf cart people over there, and it was kind of really weird. But we got to talk to Jalen, and I remember the rumor was they were going. I remember the rumor internally was they were going to get Ramsey if he was there, and then on draft day we started hearing they might be interested in Zeke, and then. Anyway, we wound up drafting Zeke, and Rox and I got to fly back on Jerry's jet with Zeke and his
high roller,
his agent, and pretty cool little experience. Yeah. So, Kurt's question is, Nate, what happened to your phone?
Oh, I dropped it. Don't worry about it.
When did you break it?
A while back. I didn't even realize it was broke. But anyway, go ahead on. What was Kurt?
Kurt wants to know, did they make a mistake by drafting Zeke and not Jalen Ramsey?
Nah.
Jalen had come out and just said that the Cowboys had told him they were going to take him. Mm-hmm. And then when that fourth pick came up, they took Zeke.
And he went 5, right?
He went the next pick to Jacksonville.
See, because as great as Jalen is, was our defense ready for him?
Right.
Were we ready to build things around him? He's been in the league now. Both of these guys, but this their 5th year, and
he's considered the top, one of the top, if not the top cornerback.
And we just put things in place so we can help our corners. You need pass rushers. You need run stoppers so these guys can be everything that they can be. We didn't have that. And Jalen would have been mad, upset. We'd have been losing, and now we'd have been upset at him, and he'd have been gone. And all of a sudden, he'd have been with the Rams again, just like he was from Jacksonville. And we'd have been sitting there like, wow.
What do you think, Kurt? We know you hate Zeke. What do you think?
I do not hate Zeke.
He said I do. You heard
me. I do not hate Zeke.
I'm hurt, Kurt.
I do not hate Zeke.
I mean, you finally got Blake Jarwin out of here. And
don't do that.
Work on getting Zeke out of here now.
I did not have anything to do with Blake Jarwin. Although you got to admit, he had some bad luck. So.
Man, poor
he
Blake.
was bit by a snake.
Man, poor Blake.
I think, but long term, I think you'd have to say Jalen might have been the better pick just because.
Yeah, if you want long term, he got a Super Bowl. He was a big player in them getting that Super Bowl.
Zeke's been banged up,
especially the last 2 years.
Yeah. But I tell you what, if you would have, I'm with Nate. If you would have gone this team would look completely different. Like if you would have invested in him, you would have had to go, I think, more defensive side. They built this around Zeke with Dak and the receivers they went and got in the O-line and all that. Like this would. I think you would be in a completely different place if you would have done that 6 years ago.
Yeah, so I think running backs can be found in later rounds, and you could have used it.
Oh, we know.
I agree 100%.
We know, Kurt. It's well documented on the show.
And I agree 100%. But were you willing? See, Jalen, when he was at Jacksonville, they had a hell of a defense.
Mm-hmm.
And when that defense couldn't carry that offense anymore, he got out.
Yeah.
Okay, he would have started here, no defense at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're 5th in points allowed, 14th in yards allowed.
But when he got to the playoffs, guess what happened?
Well, yeah, I mean,
somebody started running the ball. Oh, yeah, there it is again. Oh, don't start me. We've been having a good show. Don't start me up, Bill Self.
Bills.
That's the name of his catch coach, Bill Self.
Who else was in that draft? Joey Bosa?
There was some beasts in that draft, man.
Winston and Goff were the 2 top picks.
I remember because I remember Miles Jack's name came up. Joey Bosa's name came up.
DeForest Buckner, Jake Cullen, Ronnie Stanley.
Isn't all of them guys
Floyd,
been close to the Super Bowl in the NFC or AFC championship game? Just about all those draft picks.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That was a class.
Oh, yeah.
That was a class of athletes. So just to say who was because golf done fell off the map from a Super Bowl to the map, off the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the Cowboys had a great draft. I mean, not only was it Zeke, but you had Jalen Smith, who was good for a couple years. You had Malik Collins, who's he's all right. Dak Prescott, Anthony Brown was a 6th-round pick that year. I mean,
Anthony's still fighting too, man.
Yeah, that was a good draft.
I'm telling you, man, when you have a pass rush or you have somebody that act like they can stop the run, that's what we did for all year. We acted like we could stop the run.
Kurt, anything else you want to talk about before I talk about
I want to hear about your night, man. This is
Go ahead on, man, because you know what? Wrestlemania must be big.
It's huge. It's their Super Bowl.
Brother, I'm sitting in church, right? Pastor delivering a great word.
Mm-hmm.
About education of God and how it should be in the school system. I mean, he is going off and I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting there. Oh, yeah. Man, big news. You was in a WrestleMania a long time ago. They had a documentary. I'm like, oh, dog, you know where we at?
In the middle of the service?
You know where we at? Man, I just want to talk about it, man. But I just want to let you know I saw you, man. They had your name down there. I'm going to WrestleMania tonight. I'm geeked. I said, well, praise God. Go ahead on. And he went home, man. This dude was hyped about this. He was hyped. I'm like, wow, WrestleMania, okay.
Yeah, they bring in more production gear than they did for the Super Bowl.
Really?
What somebody on our production team told me, their load in was bigger than what they brought in for the Super Bowl. I
saw all that side where they come out that stage and the lights. I mean,
how many people all together?
They announced, I think, 77. There's 2 nights, Saturday night and then Sunday night.
So it was over 100.
Yes, they sent out a press release earlier. They shattered the record.
Combined, it was
over 150,000. I think.
Most highest number of in attendance and highest revenue, I think, for WWE.
Yeah, I think the highlight. Well, they inducted Undertaker into the WWE Hall of Fame,
right?
And he came out both nights, and then Stone Cold came out of retirement. It's been 18 years since he last wrestled, and he stunned Jim McMahon, or not Jim McMahon.
That's when we need Rob Phillips. Where are you, Rob? Help us out here.
Why did I just go blank?
Now, Chris Beam, help us out.
Well, he's
Vince
McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
I'm thinking of the Bears quarterback.
Yeah.
So
you put
the Stone Cold stunner on him, and Vince missed his cue and fell back into the ropes, and Stone Cold had to kind of chase him down, and he stunned him, and then of course he drank about 15 beers after the match. He didn't drop one. They were chunking him from the.
Oh, is that his bit? They throw him.
They throw him, and he opens them both up, and he hits them together, and then he pours them down his throat. So he probably drank 12 beers in the ring.
Dang.
And then so he came out both nights. That was pretty cool. And then Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar were the main event. Brock Lesnar lost.
So who are the new guys? Who are the new studs in wrestling?
Austin Theory is like McMahon's protege.
Right.
He's a new guy. A guy named Drew McIntyre. He's Scottish.
Okay. Did he talk like Scottish?
Yeah, he talked. Yeah,
okay,
he talks like Paul.
because he's Scottish.
Yeah, he is Scottish. He was
a lot
Saturday
of people
night.
Scottish ain't doing it, bro.
Chris was there with his 6 foot tall 5-year-old.
Oh man, why didn't they throw him in the ring?
How do you like it, Chris?
Man, he loved it, man.
Did he really? He stayed the whole time too, didn't he?
Yeah, we left because I got a text from Mom saying you guys need to get home. So he got school tomorrow. It's 10:30. He needs to get home. So I was like, he's gonna sleep on the way home. So
man, he liked it though.
Oh man, he didn't know what to think at first, and we came in. He's like, Dad, this is awesome. I'm like, all right, he's gonna love this. So
that's great. Yeah,
awesome.
The production value of that thing, man, with all the pyro and the LEDs.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville had a match, and Wee Man came out from under the bottom of the ring.
Awesome.
That was probably the highlight of the night.
That was awesome.
Party Boy showed up. Remember Party Boy that he'd rip his pants off and shake his junk at people?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he did that in the ring.
So some kid to Jesse, huh?
Yep.
And the guy who was fighting, I can't remember his name, was scared of him.
Oh, it was Sami Zayn.
Yeah, he pulled off his pants and he was like, I'm out.
Yeah, he jumped out of the ring. Johnny Knoxville brought a table that had mouse traps glued to it and threw him over the ropes into the mousetrap table. That was pretty cool.
How could Johnny Knoxville throw anybody over the rope?
That was probably the best thing of the night.
Really?
It was really good. And then Pat McAfee wrestled. Who did he wrestle, Chris?
Austin.
Austin Theory, yeah.
Austin Theory.
And I tell you what, McAfee, that dude is he is athletic.
I saw he did some big flip off.
No, he jumped from
flat-footed.
Yeah, tell him.
Onto the top rope, flat-footed, jumped up, and then did a backflip off the rope and landed on the guy. He was super athletic.
Yeah, I was surprised.
And then that's when Stone Cold came out in Vince McMahon, 78 years old, took his shirt off and had a tank top on. And I mean, for 78, man, he's
handling his business.
He's in good shape, yeah. And then he got stunned and fell out of the ring, and it was really good. Probably the coolest part of the night is I went with Corey Miller. He's our director of in-game presentation. We were a little bit late, so we went and got on one of the big service elevators where they bring all the catering stuff and the trash and all that. So we get on, and the lady's shutting the door, and then all of a sudden she hits the button and stops, and it opens back up, and Kevin Owens that wrestled Stone Cold Saturday night, he gets on the elevator. And I don't know if you remember Trish Stratus. Man, I had such a crush on her. She was so good looking, still is. She got on the elevator with us, and then there was another lady. No, I was kind of like, I talked to Kevin Owens. He looked at Corey's shirt.
Hold on, man. How we go from the lady till we talk to Corey? Lord Jesus, that's a blow.
I was kind of flabbergasted. I couldn't,
Wow.
And he was standing next to him.
Not my man.
And he told Corey, he was like, I like that shirt, man. He's like, I stole one of those from the Access store the other day. And we were like, really? Because he went through and he did a bit where he destroyed all of Stone Cold's merchandise at the convention center and went through the whole section with throwing racks over. And I said, did you do it when you were destroying the store? And he was like, no, actually, he said, I saw it when I was destroying the store. And whenever I walked back out, I just grabbed it off the rack and left with it.
Hold on, man. What was the lady name that you said?
Trish Stratus.
And she walks on the elevator.
Yeah.
And you can't talk to her with some dude on the elevator.
I was more comfortable talking to him than I was her.
Wow, I am crushed.
I was starstruck, man. I was starstruck. Yeah, she was. Yeah. She still got it, man. Yeah. How old is she? Does it say over there?
46.
Can you believe that?
Right.
Yeah.
My boy.
I blew
My
it.
boy.
I had one shot and I blew it, man. on the trash elevator, and I blew it. I blew it. So, but it was really cool. If you've never been to a WrestleMania, if one comes near you, you should definitely, even if you're not into wrestling, just to check out the production and grown men acting like little kids and dress up.
Was it older people there, my friend?
Oh yeah,
my God, man, because that is who.
Yeah.
This is unlike baseball, where it's all older people.
Mm-hmm.
This it breeds like now
kids, men,
I've
women.
never seen so many men with championship belts. I mean, I'm telling you, everybody was walking around with a championship belt.
It don't take much convincing. Chris kid, 5 years old, 6 foot. He's already into it.
Yeah, and you don't even have to know anything about it. It's so cool, man.
We're gonna buy some of the toys for him.
Are you?
Did you go to anything? I was surprised there's all these like smaller wrestling matches going on around the city.
Yeah, so they had.
Did you go to any of those things?
No, I didn't. Yeah. They had, I think, an NXT show, which is kind of like their minor league. They had that at the AAC on Friday night.
But even some like local, like all these.
And those
and there's another one tonight too, right?
Is there? I don't know.
Isn't it Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, Raw's at AAC tonight. Yeah,
it's crazy.
They had open tryouts out here on the plaza, and Isaiah Stanback on Friday. They had 4 rings set up on the plaza. And anybody could just come watch. Isaiah actually went and tried out about 6 years ago. He went to their training facility in Orlando, and he said that they actually offered him.
Really?
And for the amount of money that they were paying, and he would have to move to Orlando, he's like, he shook their hand, said thanks, and got on the plane and flew back. But he actually went through. He said there was about 50 of them, and he's into it. He said I think he went Saturday night. His kids are big time into it.
Yeah. You said somebody famous was here. Was there famous Friday?
Yeah. So Logan Paul wrestled Saturday night. Oh. His brother Jake Paul, YouTuber.
Yeah.
The guy that's into boxing now.
Right.
He was actually up here, went out there on the field and was running some routes. So they actually had him up, had his video up here on the NFL Network a while ago.
It wasn't wrestling related with him?
No, he was in town to support his brother. Okay. His brother wrestled Saturday night with Mike the Miz, and they beat the Mysterios.
Broncos notable additions.
Randy Gregory, there he is. Man, that hurts me. Wow. All right, fellas. Well, we're going to get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Kurt, good luck tonight, man.
Great show, man.
Good luck tonight. Nate, thanks for bringing it.
I'm glad we got a week before we have to hear from you.
Man, I can't wait. That's going to be a good bet. I like it. I hope Jesse wins.
If you win, you're going to talk noise. If you win, are you going to talk noise?
I'll give him a little bit.
To see Kurt wearing another man's jersey.
Wow.
That's going to be
Especially it's going to be cut off. It's going to be like it's a tank top, right?
Yeah.
I ain't wearing I'll wear a shirt or something under it.
No, come on. Vince McMahon wore a tank top, Kurt. You can do it. You're not a 78.
Come on.
I passed Mr. Jones in the hall today. Could you imagine if I passed him wearing nothing but a Jesse tank top?
You know, I think that's the first time.
He'd say, gone?
That's the first time I have ever seen him on our floor when it wasn't with a group of people.
Yeah.
Like walking to or from a press conference. Yeah. He was by himself and walked by my office, and Nick was in there. And Nick, he goes, "Hey, how are y'all?" And Nick, looked at me I was like, I think that's the first time I've ever seen him walk by my office.
I think he may be lost.
Yeah, where is he? Where's he going?
Sometimes you like to walk around, and I hate to say this because if you don't, we know how good the Joneses are, but sometimes you like to walk around and see what you really own. You like to do it alone.
Just look at it.
Hey, don't take it the wrong way out there, y'all.
Just take a stroll.
Yeah, you walk around your house sometimes like this mine. He's walking around his house. This mine.
It's a short walk for me.
Yeah. I would just say even shorter for me, so don't worry about it.
Me too.
Doubt it.
William, sorry for your loss this weekend, but glad you got to experience that.
Well, you got a ticket, so you good. You did good, William. You got a ticket.
You got to upgrade, man.
Yeah.
Chris, thanks for keeping us.
Floor after.
Thanks for keeping us. Yeah, he did. Thanks for keeping us on the air. Will, thanks for keeping the live streams up. We will be back Monday. National championship game tonight. Who's going to win it? Who's going to wear another man's clothes?
2 through 6.
Next Monday on the People Show.
5.
Hanging with the boys. See you next week.
2 through 6.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!